What's up, y'all? This is Jake from Barbincito Customs. I'm going to give you a tutorial today on how to fix loose joints on modern G.I. Joe figures. As you can see, this is quite an annoying problem, but don't worry, I've got you guys covered. We're going to take care of this in a matter of a few minutes. All right. These have a rubber stopper on the inside that presses against the metal ball joint, and what that does when it's new, it gives a little bit of friction so that you've got a nice tight joint. It can take on different poses, but over time that little piece of rubber will wear out, flatten out, and become useless. So I've got something that will take care of that, and it's called Permatex Fast Drying Glue, Super Glue from Walmart, maybe $1.50. All right, let's get started. I will show you two different methods on how to do this. One involves taking it apart, the other involves just leaving it as it is. You may not have a number 0 Phillips screwdriver, or you may have a custom figure where the paint has gotten in between the two halves and sealed it shut. And often you can take it apart without damaging the paint job, but you never know. Sometimes it's a risk that you don't want to take. All right, the first way I'm going to show you is to unscrew this. Right? Okay, this one doesn't have the little stopper because this is from I guess like a Grunt or a Duke figure from Dollar General, and I put it on a Snake Eyes figure for some reason. You want to test this out so you don't do too much. Too much is a very bad thing. You can always add more. All right, so just a tiny drop. Okay. You want to keep almost continual movement on this. I can already feel this stiffening up. You have to be very careful not to let it stay in one position for too long. So once that happens and that super glue sets, you'll have a locked joint and you won't be able to move it at all. You can continue to move it like this, or you can put this back on. That squeak will go away. Initially you might have some of that. It's because the glue is filling in the space between the metallic ball joint and the plastic part of the leg. Go ahead and put the screw back in. Now this by no means is ready to just leave alone. I wouldn't dare put this down and walk away. I'm going to continue to move this until I feel like it's had enough time to dry. Oh, this also works on, if you have loose heads, you can put a drop in there, put it on, and just continually move it. Whenever I do head swaps, I do this too. Little bonus tip there. All right, let's take a look at the difference here. pretty good not to have the rubber stopper. This is far superior to that, in my opinion. All right, this would be a good example for one that, you know, maybe I just don't feel like getting into it. You know, this little piece will pop out, you know, and maybe it's a hassle and I don't want to deal with that. Actually, I'm going to tighten that up. It's a little loose. Notice I'm continuing to move that around. You're going to decrease in frequency as the time goes by. Initially, when I first put the drop on, I'm going to like move it a lot. Afterwards, you know, just a little movement here and there. Okay, so if you have a custom figure and you don't want to take it apart, or you got a piece like this and you just don't want to deal with that, very carefully still drop in there. Let that move around and coat all of that joint. And this is the one that you'll need to be the most careful with, this method, because you're more likely going to put a larger drop in here than you expect. And you might even get some on the edge there. So wiggle it for a few minutes. This one's just perfect. It's ready to go. It's done. This one's going to take a while longer. You can see the glue starting to dry in there. Okay. Check it out. Very stiff. If you'd like to see more of these types of videos, be sure to like and subscribe, or leave a comment down below and let me know what you'd like to see. This is a new channel, first video on here. It's something that's fun. I'd like to share my knowledge with you guys. I've been customizing for maybe getting on close to 10 years at least. Learned a few things here and there. Right? Okay, we're going to put him aside. This Cobra Viper has a loose leg too. Okay, remember, see, just occasional movement I would say to do this up to anywhere from 5 to 10 minutes, and that's not like continual 10 minutes of just doing this. You'll wear out what you put in if you do that. Just incremental movements. You just want to make sure that it's not got any wet residual that's going to dry after you think that you're done. Okay. Another method. Get a little paint, little glue there, and a brush that you're not going to use anymore, or a toothpick or something, and sort of coat that joint. Try to fix it where you guys can see. This way you have more control over how much you get in there. You're less likely to overdo it with this method. You can always add more if you think that you need more. These things dry pretty quick, so I like to keep them standing up. Put it over here to the side. All right. Nice and easy. Yep, still good over here. Another idea I'm playing around with for future videos is maybe like you know, a what's on my desk video, so you can get a preview of upcoming customs and, you know, just the process that I have when I make these. You can often find my figures on sale on eBay, or you can go to my Instagram page. It's also Barbincito, BARBINCITO, and, you know, hit me up there and with any questions or follow-up that you need.